tracks that we picked to go over one of the scenes, and we're like, nah, that one doesn't feel right. And then we hit the right one, and we're like, you got to feel it out.
Yeah. Now, as far as what he's saying, what I can kind of see between the lines there is he probably has a program that has built-in music, and he's probably tired of using that stuff, and he hears it on every other commercial. Definitely a service like Audio Blocks, where you can get additional music for a pretty inexpensive price, is a great way to go. I utilize a service like that because I like to be unique. I like to have different stuff than every other editor has out there.
Yep, and going into that catalog is really important.
Yep.
Daniel W. Johnson, I have Final Cut X or Final Cut Pro X. Is Motion an essential piece of software?
It is an essential piece of software if you dabble into a lot of special effects, green screen, different kind of graphic stuff. It can be important, just like After Effects, if you do a lot of motion tracking and a lot of heavy intensive graphical special effects things. We don't necessarily do that in this guide. This is more about honing your skills as an editor, not necessarily a special effects, a visual effects editor. That's definitely a different genre and a different set of skills.
Sure.
This is more of a core set of skills that would be a great foundation if you wanted to eventually become a visual effects guy.
Well, and that's the thing is you learn the fundamentals, and then you start playing around with these other softwares. But once you have the fundamentals down, that opens you up to access these other programs.
And in the guide itself, we definitely dive into things that you can do in the visual effects realm that you can do within the programs themselves that are very helpful, and things that you most commonly do. Yep. You don't necessarily need to go to an external program to do a lot of these things.
Right, and I want to remind you guys to go to chronosphoto.com/video-editing-guide to get more information. If it's still a countdown clock, it's on its way. Just wait till the clock runs out, and then you can get previews of the guide. And if it's already up there, you can go ahead and pick up the guide right now. More?
Yeah.
All right.
More.
Hold on, I'll give you more.
Hit me.
Hit you. Okay. Steve Blumberg. I have a large documentary-style project coming up this summer that will span multiple days, about 26 people in many locations. I'm a bit overwhelmed at the thought of how to organize all my files, so my question would be, what are tried and true organizational styles for all of the wide, medium, and close videos for multiple days /subjects/locations, ?
So, he kind of answered his question a little bit. Organizing into coverage is definitely one way you may want to do it. Now, it sounds like to me you've got all these people. You would probably organize in terms of groups of people that are telling similar stories. Because at the end of the day, as an editor, you're a storyteller, so you want to organize the best way to tell that story. So if the story is somebody going to the grocery store, and then what happened at the grocery store, maybe group all the people that talk about the journey into one folder, and then have everybody at the final destination in one folder. That's definitely a way to do that.
And cutaways to like opening the door.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have all your B-roll and cutaways as people talk, and you jump around from interview to interview to let them tell the best story in little bite-sized pieces. Another thing that I do when I do interview situations is I'll lay out everybody's interview one at a time, and then I'll just cut through and narrow it down to the most essential sound bites of them giving the very best information that relates to the story I'm trying to tell. And then once you start doing that, you're going to start picking up patterns in everybody's answer, and they start answering themselves, and then you can mentally say like, oh, this guy's talking about crossing the street. Oh, he talked about crossing that same street over here. Oh, awesome. I'm going to put those two together. So once you start whittling, it can be so overwhelming. Once you start whittling down those interviews to the core storytelling elements, you're going to start seeing patterns, and then those patterns will help to tell the story back and forth between the people.
Organization is really important.